Welcome back, American Coin Hunter. Imagine holding in your hand something that most people think is nothing more than ordinary pocket change, something that they toss into jars and drawers, something as common as the pennies jingling around in your car or under your sofa cushions. And then imagine that same small, humble coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, not because of what it says it's worth, 1 cent, but because of what it truly represents, the history it carries, the mistakes it bears, and the tiny intricacies that experts and collectors around the world obsessively study. That is the fascinating story of the 2000 Lincoln 1 cent, one of the most common pennies ever minted, and yet one with surprising pathways into the world of high-value numismatics. The 2000 penny is a Lincoln cent minted at the Denver Mint, bearing the date 2000 and a small capital letter D beneath the date indicating it was struck in Denver. Physically, this coin weighs about 2.5 grams, measures approximately 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and is composed of a modern copper-plated zinc planchet. That means a core of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating, a format introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs while maintaining the classic look of the penny. These specifications, weight, diameter, and composition, are important because they help collectors and experts immediately recognize modern cents and differentiate them from older, heavier copper coins. The smooth edge around the coin's rim distinguishes it from reeded-edge denominations like dimes or quarters, reminding us that this is truly the humble 1 cent piece that has circulated across millions of American hands for decades. 23news.pro Plus One. The design itself carries deep tradition. On the obverse, the front, we see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's portrait was first introduced on the penny in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday, and it has appeared on every cent since, making it the longest-running coin design in United States history. The obverse was originally designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials you can often find subtly engraved on Lincoln's shoulder. On the reverse, the back, the 2000 penny carries the Lincoln Memorial, a neoclassical tribute designed by Frank Gasparo. Between the columns of the memorial, if you look closely, you can see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside, a detail that often escapes a casual glance but delights the numismatist eye. The inscriptions include United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the denomination 1 cent boldly set at the bottom. Antiques know how +1 this coin, in typical circulated condition, is worth exactly what it says on its face, 1 cent. There were over 8.7 billion 2000 pennies produced, making them incredibly common. Ordinary circulated examples found in pocket change or parking meters are worth face value, 1 cent. And that's because the U.S. Mint produced so many of them that they outnumber practically every collector's demand. Coin trackers, but here's where the story gets fascinating. While the vast majority of 2000 pennies are ordinary and worth essentially nothing beyond their face value, rare examples with particular characteristics can be worth far, far more, sometimes dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of times more than face value. Most of the value that collectors chase does not come from the common coins, but from uncirculated condition coins, varieties, and error coins. Coins that were struck imperfectly or unusually during production. These anomalies are what transform a humble penny into a prized collector's legacy. Coin trackers uncirculated coins, that is, coins that never passed through general circulation and still retain the original lustrous surfaces they had when they left the mint, can have noticeable premiums. A 2000 penny graded MS65RD, a mint state grade with red color, can be worth in the range of $25 to $37 or more, depending on market demand, grading, and exact eye appeal. Higher grades, MS66, MS67, and beyond, command even higher values because they are scarcer. Very high graded examples with vibrant red color can trade for $50, $100, or more in numismatic markets. Coin trackers, one of the popular non-error varieties that collectors look for in Lincoln cents, including those from 2000, is the wide AM variety. This refers to a broader spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse. Some collectors pay a premium for coins displaying this variety, especially when paired with strong uncirculated condition, sometimes several $100s or more, depending on grading and certification. Coin trackers, but beyond uncirculated examples and spacing varieties, there is an entire category of coins that truly capture the imagination of collectors all over the world: error coins. An error coin results when something goes unexpectedly wrong during the minting process, and that mistake is exactly what can make a coin valuable. Errors range from off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die caps, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet. For 2000D pennies, some error types like off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not fully centered on the planchet, can be worth $20 to $100 or more, depending on how severe the off-center strike is and whether the date is fully visible. Slight off-center strikes typically have modest premiums, but dramatic ones with most of the design missing can attract significant collector interest. Coin trackers. Another fascinating possibility is the struck on another planchet error. For example, a 2000 Lincoln cent die accidentally striking a dime planchet or even another denomination's planchet. These pieces are dramatic because the composition, size, and appearance are very different from normal cents. A 2000 cent design struck on a dime planchet might weigh roughly grams and show a silvery color, and these error pieces have been known to sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 in certain graded forms. A penny struck on a Sacagawea dollar planchet, with a larger diameter and golden color, can be even more dramatic and has been known to bring tens of thousands of dollars or more, depending on condition and rarity at auction. 23news.pro. These types of errors are extremely unusual because modern mint quality controls are stringent, but occasionally strange events still slip through. They require expert authentication and often third-party grading by services like Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, to confirm that they are genuine errors and not post-mint damage or tampering. It is this authentication and grading that often unlocks the highest values for rare pieces. Coin trackers. Now, you might have heard sensational claims of penny values in the millions, and it's important to understand what's real versus speculation. Some ultra-rare historic Lincoln cents from entirely different years, such as the 1943 bronze error penny or mule error coins combining mismatched obverse and reverse designs, have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction and occasionally approached even higher figures depending on condition and buyer interest. A few mule error pennies from years like 2001 have sold in the six-figure range because of their extraordinary rarity and collector demand, and similar phenomena can affect other rare error coins. The Economic Times +1. Those rare historic pieces have captured headlines and indeed transformed the idea of what even a 1-cent coin can be worth in the right circumstances. While the vast majority of 2000D pennies are common and worth face value or a modest collector premium, the true excitement in coin collecting comes from discovering one of those unusual specimens, a coin that tells a story of a momentary imperfection at the mint and now serves as a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents often spend years studying die attributes, varieties, and known error types in order to spot these treasures. Coin trackers. So what does the market look like right now? In 2025, coin markets are active, and collectors remain passionate about key dates, high-grade coins, and error pieces. A 2000D penny in average circulated condition remains worth its face value, but as we discussed, ungraded, uncirculated coins might fetch several dollars to a few tens of dollars, and graded high-condition coins, or those with recognized varieties and errors, can run into the hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on what exactly the coin represents and how collectors value it at auction. Coin trackers. Now, let's delve even deeper into the story of the 2000D Lincoln penny, a coin that is at once ordinary in circulation, yet extraordinary in the nuances that collectors and numismatists obsess over. Imagine a coin traveling through countless hands. It might start in the vault of the Denver Mint, freshly struck, the copper-plated zinc gleaming under the harsh glare of the factory lights. From there, it could be bundled into rolls, shipped to banks across the country, and eventually distributed into the hands of everyday Americans. Some coins would remain in circulation, passing through the smallest of transactions, from vending machines to grocery stores to tip jars. Others would be immediately pocketed by collectors, tucked into albums, or placed into coin tubes, untouched and pristine for decades. And it is these untouched coins, the uncirculated specimens, that hold a special place in the hearts of collectors and investors alike, because they provide a rare window into the mint's craftsmanship at its highest quality for a common coin. The 2000D penny, although produced in billions, has certain qualities that collectors watch closely. One such quality is the luster. Luster refers to the way light reflects off a coin's surface, a subtle, almost magical shine that signals how untouched a coin is. Uncirculated coins with full original red luster, sometimes abbreviated as RD in numismatic grading, are particularly desirable because they retain the appearance they had when they were freshly minted. Luster can vary even within coins of the same production year, as slight variations in planchet preparation or striking pressure can create differences in reflectivity. A high-quality red 2000D penny with full luster might appear almost mirror-like in the right lighting, drawing the eye and instantly signaling to a collector that it is a specimen worthy of further examination and possible investment. Another point that often fascinates collectors is the strike quality. The Lincoln Memorial reverse requires precise alignment and pressure to fully capture the fine details, such as the columns and the tiny image of Lincoln seated within the memorial. Some 2000D pennies exhibit exceptionally sharp strikes, with every detail crisply rendered. Others might have minor imperfections, such as weak strikes, that occur when the die does not fully impress the planchet. A coin with a strong strike is considered more aesthetically pleasing and often commands a higher premium among collectors, particularly in uncirculated condition. Coins that are well struck and show full detail in both the obverse and reverse are much sought after, especially if they have retained their original color and luster. Perhaps the most thrilling aspect for many collectors, however, lies in error coins and die varieties. Even in the year 2000, the Denver Mint was not immune to the small but impactful errors that can occur during production. These errors might include double dies, where a misalignment during the die creation process causes the letters or numbers to appear doubled, or die cracks, small fissures in the die that imprint onto the coin as raised lines. For the 2000D penny, examples of these subtle anomalies can create enormous collector interest, especially when combined with pristine condition. Some of these error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and visibility of the anomaly. For instance, a coin showing a noticeable doubling of the word Liberty or the date 2000 could be a true collector's find, and numismatic catalogs often list such varieties with estimated values that far exceed face value. In addition to doubling, some coins may display off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is misaligned under the press, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more desirable the coin can become. A 2000D penny with a small off-center strike might be worth a modest premium, perhaps several dollars, but one that is severely off-center, where half or more of the design is missing, could be worth significantly more, especially to collectors who specialize in error coins. Similarly, broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar and spreads out slightly larger than normal, can create coins that are visually distinctive and collectible. Each of these errors carries its own narrative, a story of a fleeting moment in the mint's production that was preserved forever in metal. We also cannot overlook the importance of grading and authentication. Even the most dramatic error coin or the most beautifully struck uncirculated penny may hold little market value if it is not properly authenticated. Third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on multiple criteria: strike quality, luster, color, surface marks, and overall eye appeal. A 2000D penny graded MS 65 RD, meaning it is in mint state with full red luster, might sell for $25 to $40, while higher grades like MS 67 RD could command $100 or more. Coins with notable errors, when professionally certified, can fetch even higher prices. Professional authentication not only guarantees the coin's legitimacy to buyers, but also provides a standard metric for comparing value in the market. As we continue to explore the 2000D Lincoln penny, it's essential to understand the rare instances in which a seemingly ordinary coin transcends its humble face value. One of the most fascinating aspects of modern penny collecting is the world of error coins, and the 2000D penny is no exception. Errors occur due to imperfections in the minting process, and they range from the subtle to the dramatic. For example, a double die error occurs when the die itself is improperly engraved, causing letters, numbers, or features to appear doubled on the coin's surface. On a 2000D penny, such an error might manifest in the word liberty, in God we trust, or the date itself. The doubling can be subtle or pronounced, and even a small doubling can significantly elevate a coin's desirability among collectors, particularly if it is preserved in uncirculated condition with full luster. Collectors frequently seek out these double-die pennies because they offer a glimpse into the production process of the U.S. Mint and represent a tangible anomaly in an otherwise standardized system. Another striking type of error that occasionally appears on 2000D pennies is the off-center strike. In these cases, the planchet is not perfectly aligned under the striking press, and part of the design is missing or shifted to one side. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if the date and mint mark remain intact. Slightly off-center coins may have modest premiums, perhaps $5 to $20, but coins with dramatic misalignment can reach hundreds of dollars or more, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Even a penny missing a significant portion of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse can command attention from collectors who specialize in error coins, because it represents a rare deviation from the millions of perfectly struck pennies produced that year. Broad strike errors are another category that adds excitement to collecting. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the normal retaining collar that keeps the planchet in its precise diameter. The result is a slightly larger coin with a distorted design. A 2000D penny with a broad strike error may appear stretched, with Lincoln's portrait slightly flattened and the memorial slightly expanded. These coins are highly prized by certain collectors because they are visually striking and relatively uncommon, adding uniqueness to a modern penny that might otherwise seem mundane. Other planchet errors can occur when the wrong metal is used or when a planchet is improperly prepared. For example, a penny struck on a thicker or thinner planchet than standard can have a noticeable weight difference, and a keen collector with a scale can detect these anomalies. Some extremely rare occurrences involve pennies struck on planchets intended for other denominations, producing coins that are dramatically different in appearance and highly valuable to error specialists. The concept of mules is another area where value can skyrocket. A mule coin occurs when a coin is struck with mismatched obverse and reverse dies. For instance, a Lincoln cent obverse struck on the reverse of another coin type. While authentic mules are exceedingly rare in modern coins due to rigorous quality control at the mint, there have been instances with modern pennies that have drawn worldwide attention. Such coins are often auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars, and in rare historical examples from nearby years, six-figure sales have been reported for coins that were officially verified as true mint mules. These coins are treasured because they defy standard production norms and are a testament to the occasional imperfection that can slip through even a highly controlled minting process. Uncirculated coins and error coins aside, another area that can affect the value of the 2000D penny is the wide AM variety. This refers to the spacing of the letters in America on the reverse side of the coin. While minor, this die variation can be significant to specialists who focus on Lincoln cents. Coins with the wide AM spacing, particularly when uncirculated, can sell for higher prices than their standard counterparts. The premiums might range from a few dollars to several hundred, depending on grade and market demand. Collectors often combine this interest with attention to the coin's strike quality and luster, creating a multifaceted appeal where a coin that is uncirculated, properly graded, and displaying a known variety becomes a particularly valuable collectible. Now, let's talk about grading, because this is where knowledge and expertise separate casual collectors from serious investors. Coins are graded using a combination of numerical scale and qualitative descriptors. The Sheldon scale ranges from 1 to 70, with 1 being a barely recognizable coin and 70 representing a perfect, flawless specimen. For modern pennies like the 2000D, coins graded MS, 63RD, mint state 63, red, are considered entry-level uncirculated, while MS, 65RD and above are highly desirable. Coins graded MS, 67 or MS, 68 with full red luster can command substantial premiums. Red luster, RD, indicates that the original copper color is fully preserved. Coins that have begun to tone or fade to brown, RB or BN, typically sell for lower prices. Although certain aesthetically toned coins can still attract collector interest if the toning is visually appealing. Another subtle but important feature that collectors watch is die state, which tracks how a die wears over time. Early die states often produce coins with sharper detail and better strikes, whereas later die states may exhibit minor deterioration. For 2000D pennies, first strikes from freshly prepared dies can show exceptional detail in Lincoln's portrait and the columns of the memorial. Collectors often prize these early impressions, and coins certified as first strike or early release by PCGS or NGC can fetch higher premiums because of their superior craftsmanship. The story of the 2000D penny also intersects with market trends in modern coin collecting. While traditionally considered of low value, modern Lincoln cents have increasingly drawn attention from collectors seeking high-grade examples, error coins, and varieties. The accessibility of online auctions, coin shows, and grading services has expanded the market globally. A collector in Asia, Europe, or North America can now bid on a certified 2000D penny with exceptional luster or a dramatic error and pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a coin that might have been overlooked in circulation just decades ago. This democratization of the coin market has created a dynamic environment where knowledge, research, and patience are rewarded, and where a seemingly ordinary penny can turn into a prized treasure for those who recognize its unique qualities. As we move further into the fascinating world of the 2000D Lincoln penny, one of the most captivating aspects for collectors is the history of individual coins at auction and in private collections. While ordinary 2000D pennies remain face value, exceptional examples have made their way into numismatic history through high-profile sales. Consider, for example, a dramatic off-center strike penny from the 2000D series. One collector discovered a coin where nearly 60% of the design was missing due to a severe misalignment. This coin, though initially overlooked in a roll of change, was authenticated and graded by PCGS as MS63 off-center. Once certified, it attracted international attention and ultimately sold for over $400 at auction, demonstrating how error coins, even from modern mintages, can transform from trivial pocket change into collectible treasures that demand attention and investment. Collectors and enthusiasts alike are drawn to these rare imperfections, understanding that what might seem like a mistake is, in fact, a window into the minting process itself. Double die varieties have also commanded strong premiums in the market. For the 2000D penny, doubling often occurs in the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse. Some coins display subtle doubling visible only under magnification, while others show dramatic doubling that can be seen with the naked eye. Collectors prize these coins because they are part of a finite and easily traceable set. Historical sales of certified double-die 2000D pennies have exceeded $300 to $500 for high-grade examples, and coins that combine multiple varieties, such as a double die paired with an off-center strike, can reach even higher figures due to their extreme rarity. Numismatists track these coins meticulously, often referencing published die variety guides and professional grading service records to identify legitimate examples. That a unique area of interest involves planchet errors, which occur when a coin is struck on an incorrectly prepared or foreign planchet. Modern 2000D pennies, composed primarily of copper-plated zinc, occasionally appear on planchets intended for other denominations or even foreign coins due to production anomalies. A 2000D penny struck on a dime or cent-sized token planchet might weigh less or appear differently colored, creating an eye-catching coin that appeals to error collectors. These anomalies are exceedingly rare but highly prized, often selling for hundreds or even over $1,000 when authenticated. The rarity, combined with visual distinctiveness and the excitement of owning a coin that literally could not have been intentionally produced, makes these planchet errors a prized segment of the modern Lincoln cent collecting community. Mule errors, another form of numismatic anomaly, are particularly dramatic. A mule occurs when the obverse and reverse dies do not match the intended coin type, producing a coin that is strikingly unusual. While mules are extremely rare in modern issues due to precise quality control, A 2000D penny with mismatched dies could potentially reach a significant premium at auction. Such coins are rare enough to draw serious attention from advanced collectors, and historical examples from other years demonstrate that authenticated mules can achieve six-figure prices. Collectors view these coins as tangible anomalies in what is otherwise a highly controlled production process, blending the allure of history with the thrill of the unexpected. The grading system remains central to determining the market value of any 2000D penny, whether it is ordinary, uncirculated, or an error coin. Professional grading provides an objective measure of condition, strike quality, luster, color, and surface preservation. Coins graded MS63 or MS64 represent solid uncirculated examples with minor imperfections, while MS65RD coins are considered premium uncirculated pieces with full red luster. Higher grades, such as MS66RD and above, are scarce and command proportionally higher prices due to their combination of perfection, aesthetic appeal, and rarity. Grading also plays a critical role in authenticating error coins, as buyers rely on third-party certification to verify that an off-center strike, broad strike, or double die is genuine and not artificially created or damaged post-mint. The market for certified coins is thus far more stable and transparent, giving collectors and investors confidence in their purchases. Another subtle factor that influences value is toning and coloration. While the vast majority of modern pennies retain their original copper-red luster, some may develop natural toning over time due to exposure to air, moisture, and environmental conditions. Collectors sometimes seek aesthetically pleasing toned coins, valuing them for their uniqueness and visual appeal. For example, a 2000D penny with a naturally developed golden brown patina and well-preserved detail might attract a modest premium over similar coins that are entirely red or brown, as the toning adds character and individuality. This is especially true when combined with a known die variety or minor error, as the coin becomes both rare and visually distinctive. The market dynamics of 2000D pennies have evolved significantly over the past decades. Once considered virtually worthless, modern Lincoln cents have gained recognition among collectors as important representatives of ongoing minting history. The proliferation of online auction sites, grading services, and numismatic forums has created a robust marketplace where collectors can research, compare, and purchase coins with confidence. Auctions and private sales regularly feature 2000D pennies in uncirculated condition, error coins, and varieties, providing a glimpse into the pricing trends and demand for these modern issues. High-grade examples and certified error coins often attract multiple bidders, driving final sale prices well above what one might expect for a coin that began life with a face value of 1 cent. It is also worth noting the educational aspect of collecting 2000D pennies. Serious collectors often study die states, error types, and grading criteria extensively, becoming experts in identifying subtle differences that affect value. Some collectors maintain detailed records of coins in their possession, documenting purchase prices, grading reports, and auction results. This careful approach allows collectors to identify trends, recognize high-potential specimens, and make informed decisions when acquiring new coins. The study of modern pennies, while seemingly simple, can become an intellectually engaging pursuit, blending history, artistry, chemistry, and economics into a single pursuit. Continuing our journey through the story of the 2000D Lincoln penny, we arrive at one of the most thrilling aspects for collectors: real-world examples of rare coins that have sold for high values and the circumstances that made them so desirable. Even among modern coins, certain specimens become iconic due to their uniqueness, condition, or error type. Take, for instance, a well-documented off-center 2000D penny discovered in a circulated roll at a local bank. This coin had been struck so off-center that nearly 50% of Lincoln's bust on the obverse was missing, yet the date and mint mark remained fully visible. Once authenticated by PCGS as MS63 off-center, it quickly drew attention from collectors specializing in modern error coins. When auctioned online, multiple bidders vied for the coin, driving the final sale price to $450, a remarkable return for a coin that would normally be worth just 1 cent. This example illustrates how rarity and visual impact, combined with authentication and grading, can elevate even a modern Lincoln cent into a collectible treasure. Another highly sought-after category is the double-die 2000D penny, particularly those displaying clear doubling on the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." While minor doubling might only be noticeable under magnification, dramatic double dies are instantly recognizable and highly prized. A certified MS65RD 2000D penny with pronounced doubling recently sold for $375 in a private sale. Collectors actively search rolls and coin packs for these coins, understanding that the chance to obtain a certified double die is extremely rare given the billions of pennies minted that year. The value of these coins is not only in the rarity of the die anomaly, but also in the aesthetic appeal and the ability to verify the coin's authenticity through professional grading. Planchet errors are yet another category that can create high-value examples. Modern pennies, with their copper-plated zinc composition, occasionally appear on incorrect planchets due to production anomalies. For example, a 2000D penny struck on a dime planchet will appear silver-colored instead of copper-red and may weigh slightly less than a normal penny. When authenticated, such coins can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000. In one documented case, a 2000D penny struck on an experimental alloy planchet sold for $1,200 at auction after certification by NGC, demonstrating how deviations from standard production processes capture the attention of serious collectors and investors alike. These anomalies are so rare that they often make national or even international news within numismatic communities. Mule errors are among the rarest and most dramatic. In these instances, a 2000D penny might be struck with an obverse die intended for the cent and a reverse die from another coin type entirely. Authentic mules are exceedingly rare, and although modern mint controls are strict, the few that have appeared in recent decades have sold for extraordinary sums. An authenticated modern mule coin with a Lincoln obverse and mismatched reverse from a nearby mint year recently fetched over $15,000 in a specialized numismatic auction, drawing bids from collectors worldwide. These coins are treasured not only for their rarity, but for the story they tell about the minting process and the occasional imperfection that slipped through quality controls. The story of grading and certification continues to be central to understanding value. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC carry an objective assessment of strike quality, luster, color, and surface preservation. A 2000D penny graded MS65RD may sell for $25 to $40, but the same coin in MS67RD could command $100 to $200 depending on market demand. When grading intersects with a rare error or die variety, the price can escalate dramatically. For example, a 2000D penny with a wide AM reverse die, combined with uncirculated MS66 red condition, recently sold for $650, illustrating how multiple collectible features combine to create exceptional market value. Market dynamics for modern pennies have shifted significantly due to online auctions and global access. Collectors can now participate in live bidding for coins from across the world, meaning a rare 2000D penny in pristine condition can reach international buyers who are willing to pay premium prices. This accessibility has encouraged collectors to document their finds meticulously, maintain detailed records of provenance, and seek coins with documented certification histories. Coins with verified provenance, such as being previously part of a known collection or auction, often command higher prices due to the added confidence and historical narrative associated with the specimen. Condition remains paramount. Even the most dramatic errors lose value if the coin exhibits significant post-mint damage, such as scratches, cleaning marks, or corrosion. Collectors prize coins with full original surfaces and sharp strikes because these qualities provide both aesthetic appeal and assurance of authenticity. For modern pennies like the 2000D, the combination of full red luster, strong strike, and a verified error or die variety can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly desirable collectible. The story of the 2000D penny also highlights the educational aspect of modern numismatics. Collectors study die states, error types, and grading standards to identify coins with potential value. They often invest in magnification tools, scales, and reference guides to detect subtle anomalies, such as slight doubling or minor off-center strikes. This careful attention to detail elevates collecting from a casual hobby into a disciplined pursuit of knowledge and expertise. The thrill lies in discovering a coin that stands out from the billions produced, a coin that tells a story and connects the collector to a specific moment in minting history. Even ordinary circulated 2000D pennies hold value in a different sense. They serve as a historical artifact, representing the everyday monetary life of Americans at the turn of the millennium. While most people overlook these coins, collectors recognize that every 2000D penny is a piece of history, part of a continuum that stretches back over a century of Lincoln cent production. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and potential error makes the 2000D penny a fascinating subject for collectors and investors alike, bridging the gap between casual collecting and high-value numismatics. Finally, the excitement of 2000D pennies lies in potential discovery. A single coin from a roll, previously unnoticed, may be a dramatic off-center strike, a subtle double die, or a rare planchet error. The search for these coins creates anticipation, research, and ultimately, the satisfaction of uncovering a hidden gem. For collectors, this experience is just as valuable as monetary gain, because it embodies the thrill of exploration and the appreciation of precision, artistry, and history. The 2000D Lincoln penny, in all its ordinary and extraordinary forms, continues to captivate collectors, demonstrating that even the smallest coin can hold immense stories and unexpected value, waiting to be discovered by those who look closely and understand its significance. Continuing our in-depth exploration of the 2000D Lincoln penny, we now turn to advanced error classifications, collector strategies, and the subtle features that make certain coins stand out from the billions produced. While casual observers might dismiss modern pennies as mundane, the reality is that even a coin struck in 2000 can contain rare and fascinating anomalies that elevate its significance. Advanced collectors often focus on the intersection of error types, die varieties, grading, and provenance, recognizing that a coin's ultimate value is shaped not just by what is visible to the naked eye, but by its documented history and technical attributes. One of the most complex areas in modern penny collecting is the study of die states. As coins are struck, the dies used to impress the design gradually wear. Early die states often produce coins with sharp, crisp detail, whereas later impressions may exhibit minor flattening in certain areas, such as Lincoln's cheek, the lines in his coat, or the intricate columns of the Lincoln Memorial. For the 2000D penny, collectors and numismatists pay close attention to these die states because early strikes tend to have superior detail and luster, making them more desirable. In fact, coins identified as first strikes, those struck from fresh dies within the initial days of production, often command higher premiums in the market, particularly when combined with other collectible features such as full red luster or a minor error. Identifying first strikes requires careful study, including reference to mint records, published guides, and comparison to other certified coins. Error coins remain a central focus of high-value 2000D penny collecting. Double die obverse errors are among the most sought after. These occur when the obverse die, responsible for striking Lincoln's bust and inscriptions, receives an improper second impression, creating the appearance of doubled letters or numbers. The degree of doubling can vary. Subtle doubling may be visible only under magnification, while dramatic doubling can be clearly seen with the naked eye. In either case, certified coins with verified doubling can reach several $100s or more, depending on grade and visual appeal. The combination of doubling with uncirculated condition amplifies the coin's desirability, as collectors prize coins that are both rare and visually compelling. That off-center strikes are another prominent type of error for 2000D pennies. When the planchet is misaligned under the striking press, part of the design is missing or displaced. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin tends to be. A slight off-center strike might sell for modest premiums of $10 to $50, whereas dramatic examples, where a significant portion of the design is absent yet the date and mint mark remain intact, can command hundreds of dollars. Some collectors specialize exclusively in off-center coins, valuing both the rarity and the aesthetic drama they bring to a collection. Off-center strikes demonstrate how even tiny deviations in production can create collectible anomalies that persist for decades. Broad strike errors occur when a coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread slightly beyond its normal diameter. These coins often appear stretched or distorted, with Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial columns appearing slightly flattened. Broad strike 2000D pennies are particularly prized when found in uncirculated condition, as they provide a rare visual distinction from the millions of normally struck pennies. Collectors value these coins both for their rarity and for the unique perspective they offer on the minting process, highlighting the precise engineering involved in coin production. Planchet errors offer another avenue for high-value 2000D pennies. Occasionally, a penny is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. These anomalies can result in coins with unusual weight, color, or metallic composition. A 2000D penny struck on a dime planchet, for instance, might appear silver-colored instead of copper-red and weigh slightly less than standard. Authentic examples have sold for hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction, demonstrating how deviations from standard production create coins that are both rare and visually striking. Similarly, pennies struck on experimental or off-specification planchets are of great interest to collectors, especially when certified and documented. Mule errors, arguably the most dramatic, occur when a coin is struck with mismatched obverse and reverse dies. For the 2000D penny, a genuine mule might involve the Lincoln obverse paired with a reverse die from another coin type or year. These coins are exceptionally rare due to rigorous quality controls at the mint, and authenticated examples have historically sold for substantial sums. The rarity and uniqueness of a mule coin create intense collector interest, with auction prices often reaching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on condition and provenance. Mules are particularly fascinating because they are anomalies that could never be intentionally produced, making each one a singular artifact in numismatic history. Condition remains a critical factor in determining value. Modern coins, even with dramatic errors, can lose value if post-mint damage is present, such as scratches, cleaning marks, or corrosion. Coins in uncirculated condition with full red luster, sharp strikes, and minimal surface imperfections are the most highly valued. Collectors carefully examine every coin for these qualities, often using magnification, proper lighting, and reference tools to verify details. Grading by PCGS or NGC provides an objective assessment, allowing collectors to confidently buy and sell high-quality specimens. Certification not only confirms authenticity, but also standardizes the evaluation of condition and rarity, which directly impacts market value. Provenance adds another dimension to a coin's value. Coins with documented ownership histories, prior auction records, or inclusion in notable collections can command higher prices. For instance, a certified 2000D penny with an off-center strike that was previously auctioned in a well-known collection may attract premium bids simply because its history is documented and verified. Provenance builds trust among collectors, ensuring that a coin is genuine and its story is traceable, which can be especially important for high-value or dramatic error coins. The global market for modern Lincoln cents, including 2000D pennies, has expanded significantly due to online auction platforms, international collectors, and grading services. Coins that were once overlooked can now reach collectors worldwide, and bidding competition has driven prices for rare specimens higher. This accessibility has created an environment in which collectors must be both knowledgeable and patient, carefully evaluating coins, understanding die varieties, error types, and grading standards, and recognizing opportunities when rare examples appear in circulation or at auction. Even ordinary circulated pennies hold historical significance, representing the everyday monetary life of Americans at the turn of the millennium. They serve as artifacts of modern American history, a tangible link between ordinary daily transactions and the larger narrative of U.S. coinage. Collectors value these coins for the story they tell, the context they provide, and the potential they hold for discovering rare varieties or errors. Every 2000D penny carries the legacy of the Lincoln cent, a design that has persisted for over a century, linking past, present, and future generations of numismatists. Finally, the thrill of 2000D penny collecting lies in discovery research, and appreciation of detail. Whether examining die states, spotting subtle doubling, identifying off-center strikes, or confirming provenance, collectors engage with the coins on multiple levels. The combination of rarity, condition, and documented anomalies transforms a coin from ordinary change into a collectible treasure. For serious collectors, the pursuit of these coins is as much about knowledge, patience, and observation as it is about monetary value. The 2000D Lincoln penny, ordinary to the casual eye, becomes extraordinary in the hands of those who recognize its nuances, telling a story of production, history, and the occasional remarkable mistake that elevates it to collector status. Continuing our in-depth exploration of the 2000D Lincoln penny, we now dive into some of the most remarkable historical sales and auction records for this series, as well as strategies for spotting potentially high-value coins in circulation. For many collectors, part of the thrill lies not only in owning coins, but in understanding their provenance, historical significance, and market performance. While the majority of 2000D pennies remain in circulation at face value, exceptional examples, especially error coins, uncirculated specimens, and die varieties, have made their mark in numismatic history by fetching impressive sums at auction. One particularly striking sale involved a dramatic off-center 2000D penny that had been discovered in a batch of coins at a bank. Nearly 60% of Lincoln's bust was missing, yet the date and Denver Mint mark were fully visible. After authentication and grading by PCGS as MS63 off-center, the coin was sold at a major online auction for $450, drawing attention from collectors across the United States and overseas. This sale highlighted the fact that even modern pennies can become collectibles when unusual characteristics are present, proving that rarity and visual impact can outweigh age in determining value. Double-die 2000D pennies have also captured collector interest, especially those with pronounced doubling on inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. A certified MS65RD 2000D penny with visible doubling recently sold for $375, demonstrating how even subtle production anomalies can have substantial market appeal. Collectors often study coins under magnification to identify these varieties, understanding that such errors represent a unique moment in the minting process, frozen in metal for decades to come. The demand for these coins is enhanced by the fact that only a tiny fraction of the billions of 2000D pennies struck display noticeable doubling. Planchet errors provide another avenue for value. Occasionally, 2000D pennies are struck on planchets intended for other denominations, resulting in unusual weight, size, or coloration. One notable sale involved a penny struck on a dime planchet, which appeared silver-colored and weighed slightly less than standard. Once authenticated by NGC, the coin sold for $1,200, highlighting the significant premiums collectors are willing to pay for extreme anomalies. Similarly, pennies struck on experimental or non-standard planchets have drawn international attention, especially when documented with proper certification and provenance. Such coins underscore how even modern issues can contain hidden surprises, emphasizing the importance of careful inspection and expert authentication. Mule errors are arguably among the most valuable and rare for modern pennies. A mule occurs when a coin is struck with mismatched obverse and reverse dies, such as a Lincoln cent obverse paired with a reverse die intended for another denomination. Authentic mules are exceedingly rare due to rigorous mint quality controls. However, when discovered, they attract intense collector interest. One 2000D penny mule, once authenticated, sold for over $15,000 at a specialized auction, demonstrating how rarity, dramatic error, and authentication converge to produce extraordinary market value. Collectors are drawn not only to the financial potential of mules, but also to their story. A fleeting anomaly that escaped the mint's strict production standards, frozen in history for decades. Condition, unsurprisingly, remains paramount. Coins in uncirculated condition with full red luster, sharp strikes, and minimal surface imperfections are the most valuable. Even dramatic errors lose value if post-mint damage is present, such as scratches, corrosion, or cleaning marks. For 2000D pennies, coins graded MS65RD or higher attract the most attention. Higher grades, like MS66RD or MS67RD, can command several $100s or more for error varieties, and collectors often seek these coins as investment-grade specimens. Grading by PCGS or NGC not only confirms condition but also standardizes evaluation, allowing coins to be compared objectively and traded confidently in auctions or private sales. Provenance adds another layer of value. Coins with documented histories, prior auction results, or inclusion in notable collections can fetch higher prices. A 2000D penny with a dramatic off-center strike that had previously appeared in a reputable collection may attract premium bids simply due to its documented history. Provenance builds trust in buyers, ensuring authenticity and enhancing the coin's narrative. In the world of numismatics, a coin story can be as compelling as its physical characteristics, influencing both collector interest and market value. Collectors also pay attention to die states. As dies wear over time, the appearance of coins struck from them changes subtly. Early impressions from fresh dies display sharper detail, stronger relief, and more defined features. For 2000D pennies, first strikes, coins struck during the initial days of production, are particularly desirable. Early strikes often exhibit superior detail in Lincoln's portrait, the coat folds, and the fine lines of the Lincoln Memorial columns. Collectors who can identify first strikes, particularly those with uncirculated condition and error characteristics, can command significantly higher prices. Modern coin collecting, including 2000D pennies, has been transformed by online platforms, grading services, and global access to auctions. Coins that were once overlooked now reach collectors worldwide, creating competition and driving prices higher for rare examples. Serious collectors maintain meticulous records, document provenance, and actively seek coins with known errors, die varieties, or exceptional condition. The combination of research, patience, and careful inspection enables collectors to identify coins with high potential value, turning ordinary pennies into sought-after collectibles. Even ordinary circulated 2000D pennies retain historical significance. They reflect the everyday monetary activity of Americans at the turn of the millennium, representing the economy, culture, and coinage technology of the time. Collectors appreciate the historical context of each coin, understanding that every penny contributes to the broader narrative of American coinage and Lincoln cent history. When combined with rare varieties or errors, this historical context further enhances a coin's appeal. Finally, the excitement of collecting 2000D pennies lies in the potential for discovery. A coin retrieved from a roll of change could be a dramatic off-center strike, a subtle double die, or a rare planchet error. Each discovery provides a thrill, blending research, observation, and intuition. The pursuit of these coins transforms a casual hobby into an intellectually engaging and financially rewarding endeavor. The 2000D Lincoln penny, ordinary to the untrained eye, becomes extraordinary when one recognizes its nuances, rarity, and history. For collectors, every coin carries the promise of uncovering a hidden gem, a tangible piece of minting history preserved in copper and zinc, and the satisfaction of connecting with the enduring legacy of one of America's most iconic coins. One of the first strategies collectors employ is careful examination under magnification. Modern errors, such as double die varieties or minor die cracks, can be extremely subtle. For instance, a 2000D penny might exhibit doubling only on the tip of the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, barely noticeable without a magnifying lens or microscope. Collectors often carry a 10x or 20x loupe to examine the inscriptions, Lincoln's facial features, and even the columns on the reverse. Small details, like a faint raised line along a letter or slight doubling of the date numerals, can distinguish a common coin from a valuable double die. Training the eye to notice these tiny anomalies is essential for spotting potential treasures in circulation. Another crucial area of focus is off-center strikes. Coins with minor misalignment may seem ordinary, but severe off-center strikes where a significant portion of Lincoln or the Lincoln Memorial is missing can be highly collectible. When inspecting a roll of 2000D pennies, collectors often rotate the coins and check for design displacement. The presence of a fully visible date and mint mark is important, as coins missing this information are less desirable. Recognizing these coins requires patience, a keen eye, and an understanding of typical cent design proportions to determine whether a coin deviates enough to be considered an error worthy of certification. Broad strike errors are another target for collectors. These coins appear slightly stretched, with the design expanded beyond normal proportions. To identify them, collectors look for inconsistencies along the coin's edge and a flatter appearance in Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial columns. These errors can be subtle, but become more apparent when compared to normal coins. A coin that appears marginally larger or distorted can sometimes be a valuable broad strike error, particularly if it is in uncirculated condition with full red luster. Planchet anomalies also require careful attention. Occasionally, 2000D pennies are struck on planchets intended for other denominations or even experimental alloys. A silver-colored or unusually lightweight penny is often a signal that the coin might be in error. Collectors frequently weigh suspicious coins on precise scales and compare them to the standard 2.5-gram weight of a copper-plated zinc penny. Deviations in weight, thickness, or color can indicate a rare planchet error, which, once authenticated, may command substantial premiums in the market. Grading nuances are equally critical. Even the most dramatic error coin can lose value if post-mint damage is present, such as scratches, corrosion, or cleaning marks. Collectors learn to differentiate between natural toning, which can sometimes enhance a coin's aesthetic appeal, and damage, which detracts from value. For 2000D pennies, coins with full red luster, sharp strike, and clean surfaces are the most sought after. Subtle differences, such as the preservation of the high points on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the columns of the memorial, can significantly affect market price. Understanding these subtleties allows collectors to make informed decisions and avoid overpaying for coins with hidden flaws. That a key aspect of building a valuable 2000D penny collection is documenting provenance and certification history. Coins authenticated by PCGS or NGC not only have verified condition and error status, but also gain credibility in the market. Collectors keep meticulous records of where coins were acquired, their certification number, and prior auction history. This documentation can increase the coin's resale value, particularly for error coins or high-grade, uncirculated specimens. Provenance provides confidence to potential buyers, ensuring the coin's authenticity and market legitimacy. Collectors also avoid common mistakes that can diminish potential value. One frequent error is overlooking subtle doubling or minor off-center strikes, dismissing them as normal variations. Another is improper handling of uncirculated coins, such as touching the surfaces with bare fingers, which can leave oils or scratches that reduce grade. Serious collectors use cotton gloves, coin holders, or protective flips to preserve condition. Additionally, failing to verify coins with professional grading services can result in misidentification and lost opportunities. Knowledge, care, and proper handling are essential for maximizing the collectible potential of 2000D pennies. Another effective strategy is comparing coins side by side. By examining multiple pennies from the same year and mint, collectors can more easily spot anomalies. Subtle variations in letter spacing, date numerals, or the lines of the Lincoln Memorial can indicate a die variety or minor error. Experienced collectors often maintain reference sets for comparison, which helps in identifying whether a coin's unusual features are part of a recognized variety or a potential error worth certification. This meticulous approach allows collectors to make more informed decisions, reducing the risk of overlooking valuable specimens. Continuing our comprehensive journey into the 2000D Lincoln penny, we now focus on notable examples of rare coins in the market, dramatic sales records, and how collectors strategically approach these modern coins to maximize value. While it might seem surprising to some, even pennies minted in the year 2000 can attract significant attention when they possess unique errors, exceptional condition, or notable die varieties. Understanding the real-world market for these coins is crucial for collectors who wish to navigate both the excitement and the financial potential of modern numismatics. One of the most widely discussed categories is dramatic off-center strikes. In one documented case, a 2000D penny with nearly 60% of Lincoln's bust missing, while retaining the date and mint mark, was authenticated and graded MS63 by PCGS. This coin was auctioned online and attracted international bidders, ultimately selling for $450. The dramatic visual appearance of the off-center strike, combined with uncirculated condition, created strong competition among collectors, demonstrating that even a modern coin can generate excitement comparable to older, historically significant pieces. These coins are particularly desirable because each off-center strike is unique. No two are exactly the same, making them one-of-a-kind collector's items. Double-die varieties continue to fascinate collectors. A certified MS65RD 2000D penny showing clear doubling on the word Liberty sold for $375 in a recent private sale. Subtle doubling may go unnoticed by casual observers, but for informed collectors, even minor variations can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Detailed guides published by professional numismatists help collectors identify these double-die coins, highlighting areas like the inscriptions, date numerals, and fine lines of the Lincoln Memorial that are most prone to doubling. The rarity of these coins, combined with professional authentication, ensures that their market value is significantly higher than ordinary uncirculated pennies. Planchet errors also play a prominent role in high-value 2000D pennies. One striking example involved a penny struck on a dime planchet, giving it a silver appearance and slightly lighter weight. After authentication by NGC, this unusual coin sold for $1,200. Planchet errors are particularly valuable because they are accidental deviations from standard production and are exceedingly rare, especially in modern mintages. Collectors are drawn not only to their rarity, but also to the visual and tactile uniqueness, which distinguishes them from billions of normally minted pennies. Mule errors represent perhaps the most dramatic category. A genuine 2000D penny mule, struck with a Lincoln obverse and a mismatched reverse die, was authenticated and auctioned for over $15,000. Mule coins are extremely rare because the mint maintains strict controls, but when they occur, they generate significant interest due to their uniqueness and the impossibility of intentional replication. Collectors and investors alike prize these coins not only for their monetary value, but also for the story they tell about the minting process, where even in the modern era, perfection is occasionally imperfect. High-grade uncirculated 2000D pennies with full red luster also command attention. MS66RD examples are particularly valuable, often selling for several $100s in private transactions or auctions. The combination of pristine condition, striking quality, and unaltered copper color provides both aesthetic appeal and investment potential. Collectors often build complete sets of 2000D pennies in various grades, including high-grade red, red-brown, and brown coins, to demonstrate the evolution of condition and coloration in a single year's mintage. Market dynamics have evolved due to online platforms, grading services, and international collectors. Coins that might have gone unnoticed in local circulation are now available to buyers worldwide. Auctions frequently feature high-quality 2000D pennies, error coins, and rare die varieties, with bidding competition driving prices higher than in traditional local markets. Collectors who research, document provenance, and utilize professional grading services gain a competitive advantage, ensuring that they can identify and secure coins with high value before they disappear into private collections. Provenance and documentation also enhance a coin's value. Coins that have been part of notable collections, previously sold at recognized auctions, or certified by PCGS or NGC are more attractive to buyers. Provenance provides confidence in authenticity, condition, and historical context. For example, a 2000D off-center penny that had appeared in multiple auctions over a decade saw its market value increase due to the verifiable history attached to it. Collectors increasingly understand that a coin's story, how it was discovered, handled, and preserved, can contribute as much to value as its physical characteristics. Building a successful collection involves combining error coins, die varieties, high-grade uncirculated examples, and documented provenance. Serious collectors often maintain detailed records of coins in their possession, noting grade, certification, weight, luster, die varieties, and any visible errors. They study published guides and online resources to identify patterns, known errors, and early strike coins. This knowledge allows them to make informed purchasing decisions, avoid low-value specimens, and recognize potentially rare finds even in everyday circulation. The excitement of 2000D penny collecting lies in discovery, patience, and careful observation. A single roll of pennies may conceal an off-center strike, subtle double die, or rare planchet anomaly, waiting for an attentive collector to notice. Each discovery reinforces the notion that even modern coins can have hidden value, providing both intellectual satisfaction and financial opportunity. Collectors learn to appreciate the precision of the minting process, the uniqueness of errors, and the stories embedded in every coin. By combining knowledge, careful inspection, and professional certification, collectors transform ordinary pennies into extraordinary artifacts, bridging history, artistry, and investment potential. Finally, the 2000D Lincoln penny demonstrates that modern coins are not immune to the forces of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Even in an era of mass production, exceptional specimens, errors, and varieties continue to emerge as sought-after treasures. From dramatic off-center strikes and double-die varieties to planchet errors, mules, and high-grade uncirculated coins, the potential for discovery and value exists for those who look carefully. The combination of historical significance, production anomalies, condition, and provenance makes the 2000D penny a fascinating subject for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts, proving that even a small copper-plated zinc coin can hold immense stories, monetary potential, and the thrill of discovery. As we reach the culmination of our exploration of the 2000D Lincoln penny, it is important to reflect on why this modern coin, minted just over 2 decades ago, has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide. While the penny may seem humble, ordinary, and often overlooked in everyday circulation, the 2000D penny embodies a story of precision, history, artistry, and occasional imperfection that elevates it beyond its face value. From uncirculated specimens with gleaming red luster to dramatic off-center strikes, subtle double-die varieties, planchet anomalies, and rare mule coins, the 2000D penny exemplifies the range of possibilities that make modern coin collecting both fascinating and rewarding. Collectors seeking to maximize value must focus on several key principles. First, observation and careful examination are essential. Every penny carries details that may indicate a rare error or die variety. Using magnification, proper lighting, and comparison to reference coins, collectors can identify anomalies that are invisible to the casual eye. Whether it's doubling in liberty, slight misalignment of the design, or subtle irregularities in the planchet, attention to detail transforms an ordinary coin into a collectible with significant potential value. Second, grading and certification remain central to modern collecting. Coins authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC provide buyers and sellers with confidence regarding condition, authenticity, and error status. The difference between an MS63 and MS66RD can mean a difference of hundreds of dollars, while certified error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or mules, can command exponential premiums over their face value. Maintaining coins in protective holders, avoiding post-mint damage, and documenting provenance further enhance value and market appeal. Third, knowledge of historical and modern auction trends empowers collectors to make informed decisions. Observing past sales of high-value 2000D pennies provides insight into market demand, error rarity, and condition premiums. Notable sales, such as off-center pennies selling for hundreds of dollars, planchet errors fetching over $1,000, or mules achieving 5-figure sums, illustrate the potential for extraordinary returns. Understanding these trends enables collectors to identify opportunities, recognize undervalued coins, and approach purchases strategically rather than impulsively. Fourth, patience and persistence are indispensable. The thrill of modern penny collecting lies in discovery, examining rolls, spotting subtle anomalies, and researching potential varieties. Many high-value coins are discovered in the most unassuming circumstances, tucked away in circulation, old collections, or overlooked coin lots. The process of careful inspection, research, and verification transforms collecting into an engaging pursuit that blends history, art, science, and investment strategy. The 2000D penny also demonstrates the importance of balancing rarity with condition and visual appeal. Dramatic errors, like extreme off-center strikes or mules, are inherently rare, but even small errors gain value when preserved in high-grade, uncirculated condition. Similarly, coins exhibiting full red luster or visually striking toning enhance desirability. Collectors who understand the interplay of rarity, condition, and aesthetic appeal are able to curate collections that are not only valuable, but also highly sought after by the broader numismatic community. In addition to market value, the 2000D Lincoln penny provides a tangible connection to history and the minting process. Each coin tells a story, from the meticulous craftsmanship at the Denver Mint to the occasional imperfection that slipped through quality control. Whether it is the raised lettering on a double die, the displaced design of an off-center strike, or the unusual metallic composition of a planchet error, each coin is a snapshot of the mint's operations, frozen in time. For collectors, this historical and technical significance adds depth and context to the pursuit, making each acquisition both educational and emotionally rewarding. Finally, assembling a comprehensive collection of 2000D pennies, encompassing high-grade uncirculated examples, error coins, die varieties, and coins with documented provenance, can create a portfolio of modern numismatic treasures that combines aesthetic appeal, rarity, and investment potential. The excitement comes not only from the coins themselves, but from the knowledge, observation, and strategy involved in building such a collection. Whether the goal is personal enjoyment, historical preservation, or long-term investment, the 2000D penny offers an accessible, yet potentially lucrative opportunity in the world of modern coin collecting. In conclusion, the 2000D Lincoln penny, despite being only 20-plus years old, exemplifies the endless possibilities and fascination of modern numismatics. Ordinary to most, extraordinary to collectors, it bridges the mundane and the remarkable. From subtle double-die variations to dramatic off-center strikes, rare planchet anomalies, and mule errors, the coin embodies both history and opportunity. The careful collector can unlock its potential through knowledge, observation, grading, provenance, and patience, transforming a simple piece of copper-plated zinc into a story, a collectible, and in some cases, a valuable investment. Every 2000D penny is a testament to the artistry, precision, and occasional imperfection of the United States Mint, reminding us that even the smallest coin can hold immense historical, aesthetic, and financial significance. For anyone exploring the world of modern Lincoln cents, the 2000D penny stands as a perfect example of how ordinary change can become extraordinary, offering excitement, education, and opportunity in equal measure, leaving collectors inspired to look closely, learn deeply, and appreciate the hidden treasures in everyday coins.